everybody. So today I'm going to be talking about The One by Kiera Cass. And if you are unfamiliar with this series, it is the third book in the selection series. So if you haven't read any selection series, I wouldn't recommend watching this video. The selection series is a dystopian romance. I don't even want to put the word dystopian in there because it doesn't seem like a dystopian novel at all, because it's really just focused on the love triangle throughout the entire 3 books. There isn't that much world building, but technically it is a dystopian. And it takes place in a dystopian America, which is now called Ilia, and it is a monarchy. So we have a king. What? I think it's kind of silly that out of all of the governments to go through after the fall of America, we would choose a caste system with a king and a queen. But hey, it works for the story. So our protagonist is America Singer, and this is her final installment. So she's part of the selection, which the prince chooses one of the girls from the selection. It's kind of like The Bachelor, which is actually one of the blurbs about this book on Goodreads, or the series, that it's Hunger Games meets The Bachelor, which don't even worry about the Hunger Games reference because it's not. But, you know, it's kind of like The Bachelor. So she gets down to the elite, which is what the second book is about, the elite. And she has to choose now between her 2 loves, Maxon and Aspen. But I think it's kind of silly that that was what this book is supposed to be about, because she even says in the beginning of the book that she is no longer in love with one of them, so you already know pretty early on who she wants to choose. So basically this book is about him choosing her instead. Him going through the motions of finding out that, yes, you are the one for me. And she's obviously in a little wedding dress, so you know that's what happens in this book. She chooses which one she wants to be with and they get married. Before I say what I think about the book, I would recommend picking up this series regardless of what I say after this little disclaimer. If you are interested in a romance, especially a love triangle, and they're young, so a lot of the ways that they act is very young. They act like teenagers in love. So if that's something you're into, pick up these books. It's a really cute and short read. Each book is about 200 pages, so you get through them pretty quickly. I read this book in about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So yes, pick up these books if you think that would be something you're into. Now I'm going to go into this book, what I thought about it, and I'm really sorry because I don't like making videos about books that I don't like. I don't like to do that, but I already said that I would make a video for this book, so I kind of feel like I have to stick to my word. But I did not like the book. I was very disappointed in it. I thought it was very anticlimactic. It was full of plot holes, and nothing was really resolved in the storyline outside of Max and Aspen. So there's a lot of things that happen in this book. A lot of things. And you know, if you read the first 2 books, you know there's like the rebels, and they come to the castle and they like try to blow everyone up. And so it's just kind of, I don't know. Nothing's resolved with the rebels at all. And I just think it's very unrealistic how she explained what happened, that they just like came into the castle and like, we want to be on your side, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? And then Italy gets involved in there somewhere, but she never actually like explains about it, and I just think it's very unrealistic. And I understand it's more of a romance, it's more of a love story, but I wanted to know what was going on outside of these 3 people. And every single time America has to do something on television, she's gotta do something to prove herself that she's worthy of Maxon, she like fucks it up somehow. Always. Always. Like, I understand that you want to be true to yourself. She's so passionate about certain things, but she fucks it up for herself so much, because if she wants to be a person of power to get these things done, she just kind of got to go along for the ride to get in the position in the first place, and then she'll be able to do all of those things. But she just kind of foot and mouth disease, I feel like she has the entire time, especially throughout this book. She just messes things up for herself a lot. But of course, there's always a happy ending. You find out who she picks, and I'm very happy with the result of that. I just wish there was more resolution to the actual story. I just don't know. I feel like it shouldn't have been marketed as dystopian, that she should have just had this as a fantasy story. Like, wouldn't have had all of the rebels and all of that going on, because she never explained it in any way, shape, or form outside of like, oh, there's a 15-minute fight, a rebel attack, and then everyone's dead. Now I'm king. Like, what? Come on. Hey, the love story was good. Even though I wanted to slap America a lot, I really did. She's one of those characters that I couldn't get behind, even all 3 books. Even though I did enjoy the first 2 books, I got through it because of the secondary characters, her maids, Maxon, all of the girls, Chris, all of them, outside of America. But I was really happy with Celeste's character development in this book, and Maxon's as well. But I just wish that there would have been more, that she would have just like written another 100 pages. It would have just like made things make a little bit more sense. But that is what I feel about the one, and I'm sorry I can't like say that I loved it because I just didn't. And even after a week, I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I'm gonna reread it. Maybe if I reread it, I'll like it a little bit better. I don't know. That's how I feel about the one. I'm sorry I didn't like it, and I really feel bad that I couldn't like rave about it because I know so many people loved this book and this series. And maybe I'm just like out of that age bracket. Maybe it's just something that I couldn't get into because of how old I am. I don't know. I'm hoping that's why. But who knows? Who knows? But everybody have a good week. 2 weeks until City of Heavenly Fire comes out. I'm really excited about that book, actually. Super excited. I'm going to have 2 more book talks this month because I'm a part of 2 Tumblr book clubs. I'm doing the Booktown Book Club, which is The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, but it's really J.K. Rowling that wrote it, so there's that. That's her new pen name. And then The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and I'll be talking about that as well. And then I'll be doing The City of Heavenly Fire at the end of the month, so everybody keep an eye out for those.